All right, y'all, let's get to the show. Monique filed a lawsuit against CBS and Paramount over unpaid royalties from her sitcom, The Parkers. Now, the comedian released the following statement on social media. Today, we filed a lawsuit to make sure we are fairly paid the money that we are owed for The Parkers. What are your thoughts on this lawsuit, Al? What do you think?
Hey, look, run her money. One thing we know about Monique and we know about The Parkers is that it's been on air for almost 25 years. It's been aired in syndication at like Centric, Up, TV One, VH1, MTV, Nick at Night. It's now streaming on BET, Fuse, Clio TV, Netflix. Back in the day, it was the #1 comedy on the network, and it also outranks Steve Harvey as most popular among black viewers, audiences. If they still making money on it, like some of the executive producers have already sued and got their settlement for this money that they're owed for the royalties, I don't see any reason why the actors who created the content shouldn't get their money for the royalties as well.
Hugh, what do you think?
You know, I find it jacked up that at the time in which the executive producers sued for their royalties, that they didn't go ahead and include the cast or notify the cast. You know, I'm with you when you're right. And typically we see Monique making a fuss in the media about things that, you know, people sometimes feel that she shouldn't be making a fuss about. But this is definitely one of those things. And honestly, I'm just not understanding how this happens. Like, I thought there was like some type of clearinghouse. You know, the music industry has ASCAP. I thought there was some type of clearinghouse or something that these things go through to make sure people get their money. The SAG, right? Yeah.
I can speak on that. So when I was on Deal or No Deal, it's two separate things. Like you got the directors and you've got the producers. They're on one end, and then you have the talent. So they're not going to help us to like make more money, and they were awesome to work with. But I remember the girls, we were our favorite nation, so whatever the highest one negotiated was what we'd all get. And if someone settles for less, then we'd have to go with that. A lot of the girls were just happy to be on that show and didn't really fight for residuals. So they kind of, since we were getting paid, okay, say scale is $500 a day, right? And they pay you $1,000. That extra $500 that they pay you over is credited towards future residuals. So you got paid for the first run and then no residuals. So there's a lot of things that you gotta have to really be on top of your business. And I kept telling them, ladies, this show will run forever. And, you know, similar situation. I don't know if this is what happened with them, but I'm just trying to just put it in context a little bit. Like the producers are not gonna posse up with the talent and say, hey, let's all do it together. You're kind of on your own in that regard. So I can totally understand how this happens. It sucks, but like you kind of have to, like the talent has to stick together because the production side, they definitely stick together. You know what I mean? Yeah, because we should still be getting residuals and not $3 ones. So yeah, Monique, fight for your money. And I also saw that Countess Vaughn, she seemed to show some support. So that's awesome.
Just out of curiosity, before we move to the next topic, Claudia, how much are your residual checks from Deal or No Deal?
So it depends on what you get. So your first run is 70% of what you got. So say it was like $1,500 an episode, you get 70%, then it goes down every time it plays. And but when, like I said, what happened with us, we got credited against what we made in the first round, so it didn't really owe us much. So we would get 1,000 checks, and they'd be like $3. And I'm like, if we would have fought, we would have had 1,000 checks for like $700 or you know what I mean? It really screwed us.